Welcome back to Dion Talk. I'm here today with my friend Alex, and we are going to do a portfolio review. This is something where I was getting close to retiring early and wasn't sure. And one of the steps, not just doing a litmus test of living on my portfolio for a few years before I retired and doing a bunch of research on why people quit real estate, I actually had Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time and Matt the Lumberjack Landlord do a portfolio review for me. To get that to happen, I made a YouTube channel and I got several thousand subscribers to get on their radar so we can have that happen. Alex lives close to me, so today we're going to go over some questions to see what your portfolio is like and how you got here. So let's start with what got you started in real estate?
I got divorced and my house was worth about $180,000 and I owed 220. So I was $40,000 upside down. She didn't really have any interest in the house, so I ended up keeping it. And then as I lived there, the living expenses were high for me and my son, who was with me about half the time. Um, and it was kind of hard to make ends meet. So I ended up moving in with a girlfriend at the time, and I rented out my house. It was at a loss, but it cost me $300 a month. That was before vacancy and maintenance. So moving in with her, we split her living expenses which were extremely cheap. And then we lived in a trailer park for a little while. And then I found another house for sale. It was a pretty decent house and it was a good price. And I wanted to move, we wanted to move out of her place into this house. So we bought that one.
So you had a house
Yep.
and you went through a divorce.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you kept the house. So I'm not congratulations on the divorce, but you kept the house and you rented it out at a loss. Where were you living when you rented the house out as a loss?
I was living with the girlfriend at the time.
So you were renting with her?
Yes, she owned the
Okay.
trailer in a trailer park.
Okay.
So we were splitting her lot space rent.
So technically renting a place while renting out your house.
Yes.
Did your friends tell you you were crazy?
Um, yes.
Okay. Been in a similar situation. I did the same thing in the beginning. A little more intention, I think. I moved out to rent the house out to work on my debt to income ratio. So you move in with the girlfriend. Are you still with that girlfriend?
No.
No. Okay. So you own that house. And the question was, what got you started in real estate? So why would you rent out a house and move in with someone else?
Because to change my cost of living. My cost of living was $1,700 a month with me and my son. When I moved in with her, it changed to about $400 a month. So it was a net gain of $1,300 a month.
So it made more sense for you to be roommates in a relationship with somebody to save money than to live in the house that you had.
Yes.
Okay, I'm tracking. Makes sense. All right, so you own that house. How long was it till you got the second rental?
I think it was about a year.
Okay, so
Uh,
pretty quick in the beginning.
yes. And I moved into it. So we moved in from that house into the one that I bought, and we shared those living expenses. And then my ex-wife moved. So she moved further away. So I would drive past work to drop my son off another 15 minutes away and then turn around and drive back to work in the morning. And that was inconvenient. So then she bought another house, or she bought a different house closer to where my ex-wife lived, and we moved together.
So the second house the girlfriend purchased?
Yes.
Okay. So what got you in is a divorce and wanting to save money. That's what got you started in real estate.
Yes.
All right. What's your portfolio look like today?
Um, well, it might be best if I just kind of finish down that track. So the next step, so we broke up at that point, and she sold that house. So I had to buy another one, which was still out there, where my ex-wife lived, at least close. And then I lived in that house and ended up selling it for a good profit. And that was the last house that I sold. And then
Purchased what year
2014,
and sold what year?
2020,
So 6 years. And so you made good money. Glad you sold it.
$350,000.
What would it look like if you owned it today after these last 5 years of 41% appreciation in the state that we live in?
I think
Not
it
to
was
rub that in at all.
somewhere around 7 to 8 thousand,
Okay, so
or 700 to 800,000.
you only gave up $200,000 or $300,000 by selling it in 2020.
I I
You've
had to
never looked
learn.
at it that way, have you?
I had to learn.
Okay,
I
that's
need.
okay.
There's a story about that one. As I was getting ready to sell it, my realtor had it on the market, and I couldn't afford to keep it anymore because I was living in two houses because I just bought another house, so I had fixed that one up. And I told her, I said, "Hey, I need you to call the stagers, pull the staging. I need to rent it out because I can't afford to keep it staged and list any longer." She's like, so she called the stagers, and they said they couldn't. That was on like a Thursday, and they couldn't pull the staging until like the following Monday or Tuesday. So she said, we're just going to leave it on the market until the stagers can pull the staging, and then we'll take it off the market. Well, I got multiple offers that weekend, and ended up selling it for a massive profit.
Yeah, it sounds like it was the right call.
I think
I
it
mean,
was.
you're close enough to hit me so I can be sarcastic. Um, all right, so that was 2020. What happened after that?
Um, so I had just, yeah, 2020. So I just bought a house with my girlfriend at the time. Um, and it had an ADU. It was a two-bedroom house with an ADU above the garage, and we moved into that house and fixed up and sold the other house. And that's where I currently live today.
Okay, so that you bought and sold one, bought one. So at that point, you had two properties.
Um, I had one, two, I had three properties.
Where'd the third one come from?
That was the one that I bought and that I live in now.
Okay, but you bought and sold one.
Yep, I don't have it anymore.
Right. So how many properties did you have in 2021?
Um, Four.
Okay, where did the third and fourth property come from? Have you ever written down a timeline on how this looks?
Yeah, I
Okay,
have, and I just not communicating it very well.
that's
So
okay.
the first one I kept because I got divorced and I moved out of that house. The second one I bought, that was the one that we moved into that I never sold. I just rented it out. The third one that I bought, I sold for a good profit. And the fourth one that I actually bought before I sold the third one, that has an ADU on it. So at one point I had four properties, and then but shortly after I bought that last one, I sold, or the one that I live in now, I sold that other house for the profit.
Okay.
And since then, I bought a house in Arizona. So that would be four properties with 5 units.
Okay.
And that's my current portfolio.
And you are under contract
Yes.
on a property. So before we talk about this one you're under contract for, what are the two times, since you watch some of my content and you have my book,
Mhm.
what are the two things that tell you when it is time to buy real estate?
When you don't have any major life events going on, and when you find a great deal.
Okay. So the major life events are like, having a baby,
Yep.
major health concern,
Getting married.
getting married, somebody in your family passing away.
Right.
What happened last Friday?
Last Friday, I married my fiance of 10 years. Um, and yeah, had some family and friends. It was a good time. And on Thursday, the day before our wedding, we went under contract for this other house with an ADU.
So just to prove that I'm fair, congratulations on the marriage.
Thank you.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Normally, when we're getting married or having a major life event, I would say this is probably not the best time to be buying or adding properties. You guys have been together 10 years. It's been planned for a year. While there was a lot of marriage coordination going on, I don't think your mental bandwidth was stretched so far that you bought a bad deal.
No way.
Okay. And we did a deal review in the members only on this property. I think it was this weekend.
Yes.
And so we got a pretty good look at the deal too. I still don't think you made a mistake. So good job, even though you went against one of the times when you should buy real estate. So I got two more questions for you, and then we'll see if there's any questions from the people that are watching. For the people who watch in Futureland, What property is your favorite deal?
My favorite deal was when the house that I bought when we were moving out of the trailer park. So that house I bought, the intent, I bought that knowing that it was a good deal. I bought it knowing that at some point in time, it would become a rental. And I got it when the market was down. It was really cheap. And now that house is worth probably 5 times what I bought it for. And during COVID, I did a remodel. I have great tenants in that house. It's just, I call it my sugar mama. I like that house. It's my
Your
favorite
sugar
deal.
mama. Mine's close to that too. My favorite one's close to that too, close to calling it the sugar mama. First, let's go through the details for the numbers nerds out there.
Okay.
What year did you find it?
2012,
Okay, how did you find it?
MLS.
So MLS listing, did you have an agent with auto search or were you an agent or
No, I was just always looking at other people's websites,
okay.
and I did have an agent that I have a good relationship with, and I just reached out to her and said, "Hey, show me this house." And
Okay.
so we went and checked it out.
How did you fund it?
FHA.
So an FHA loan, owner occupied.
Yep, that was before they changed all the rules, so I was able to drop the private mortgage insurance without refinancing.
That's when FHA made a little more sense, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think off camera earlier you said you might have paid this property off.
Yep, I bought it for 118,000 way back when. And then when I sold the house, the live-in flip essentially, when I sold that house, I took some of the proceeds and paid off this other house.
Uh, And so you found it on MLS, funded it with FHA, paid it off. What's the long-term plan with it?
I love that house. I want to keep it till I die. But we'll see. I don't know for sure. I see a lot of people talking about other ways to distribute the funds, so I'm not quite sure, but I don't really plan on selling it.
So, like your current marriage,
Yes.
you want this property to last until death do us part.
Yes.
Good.
I
Good
want
plan.
all my properties to last if
Exactly.
death do us part.
All right. And what's it worth now? Like numbers wise.
Between 5 and 600,000, 550, somewhere around there.
Okay. What is your end goal with real estate?
Um, Financial freedom. I'm tired of getting up early, going to work for somebody else. I'm tired of I just want to have control over my life. I want to be able um to enjoy my life. And I don't want to be subject to somebody else's schedule. I get kind of tired of that.
Subject to their schedule, subject to the managers that you have that can't do the job, so they get promoted to be above you. Uh, yeah, no, okay. So no alarm clock, time freedom. What are you going to fill your time with once you have time freedom?
I really enjoy real estate, but also I want to travel. I want to I want to be able to follow my kids around if they go somewhere. I want to be able to come around for vacations. I want to be able to take them on vacations. I just want to be present at that stage of my life with my friends and family.
Lead Pray Hodel, Nick Massey says, I understand why people leverage and how it can 10x your net worth, but paying off a house can bring you closer to a passive income number to retire early. I think we both paid off a house.
Yep,
If you didn't pay off the hundred and how much?
18.
18,000 at that time, what could you have done with that 118,000?
I would have paid off a different house.
So you still would
Uh,
have paid down debt.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
nobody who
good
would have
call.
been able to talk me out. I needed to know what it felt like to have a house
Mhm.
paid for free and clear. Um, the way I never thought that was attainable. So I needed to know nobody would have been able to talk me out of it. I mean, knowing that full well, there's better ways I could have handled that situation. And I kind of wish I would have, but I also didn't have the knowledge and experience that I do now. So who knows what I would have done? Probably wouldn't have been buy another property, which is what I would do with it now.
So I think you said it clearer than I have in any video. Because I talk about I paid off $121,000 on a house, my only one I paid off. Like,
Mhm.
and I at the time I could have taken about 109,000 and bought a fourplex that would have gone up $1 million. So I've lost $1 million by paying off the house. Here's what you said that was clearer than I've ever said it. At the time, no one could have talked me out of it. I wanted to know what's it like to have a paid off house. Is it even possible? Can somebody that I thought was going to work until I was in my 70s have a paid off property? Nick makes a really good point. That paid off property reduces expenses, continues to get the income. So, as much as I say I'd rather save and invest, that's based on having the knowledge of a decade of reaching financial freedom to go, yeah, I'd like to put the money to work. But at the time, do what's going to keep you motivated and keep you in the game. And I think paying off those properties probably did that for both of us.
Yep, and it provides cash flow earlier than it would have. I mean, it was already providing a little bit of cash flow, but it provides more substantial cash flow earlier than it would have.
And if somebody wants to get a hold of you with questions, I have one last thing I'm going to wrap up with before this is over. But how do they get a hold of you?
Um, you could get a hold of me at my email address. It's alexander.dutter@gmail.com. Outside of that, I don't really have a YouTube channel or anything like that.
Dudder,
Yes,
alex.dutter@gmail.
Alexander,
Alexander.
Alexander dot Dutter, Dudder @gmail.com.
Okay. And the last question, just before we wrap this up. If you met somebody today who was just thinking about starting out in real estate, what's the most important piece of advice you can give them?
That it's possible that I'm not just some YouTube personality, that Dion's not just some YouTube personality. I didn't even know that I was a real estate investor until February of this year. These are all moves that I made based on life circumstances. So find your people, learn from them, surround yourself with them. Um, and yeah, that network is really important. And there's people out there that think like you and do this kind of thing. And you don't have to work forever if you don't want to.
I think that's the most fun that I get sharing content. It's just letting people, seeing when people realize that it's possible. So love it.
Well, thank you.
Have a day full of amazing. It often takes 20 to 30 seconds.